Well, as we are broadcasting from the New York Stock Exchange, we begin, as we always do, with the stock market. Joining me now is Tom Hulick, CEO of Strategy Asset Managers. Tom, great to have you on the show this week. And even though it is a holiday shortened trading week, no shortage of action at all. What is on your radar?
Good morning, Kristen, and thank you for having me this morning. It's going to be a great Thanksgiving week, and happy Thanksgiving to you, your family, and on all the staff. We've been very positive post-election. There's a continuation of the leadership and strength of the United States that is kind of shaping up with the cabinet picks out there. And so when we have our research call this morning, we're going to focus on the continuation of what's going to happen with the leadership in the U.S. going into 2025. We really think that there's going to be a nice rally going into year end.
Okay, so let's talk more about that. Scott Bessent, hedge fund manager, has been selected as the Treasury Secretary, and that seems to be why stocks are rallying this morning pre-market. What do you think Bessent means for equities?
Well, I think that when you shape a cabinet, and for any administration, it doesn't matter what the politics are, it's really the policies that are in place. So if you follow along on somebody who wants to continue this cycle that we're in, the business cycle of growth and entrepreneurship, innovation that's there, Bessent, being a hedge fund manager, a very prominent business person in the community, sees that if we take deregulation and we continue that innovation out there, I think if you can look into 2025, it's going to be a positive year. So I'm very optimistic about this selection.
Okay, so let's talk more about that, Tom. The policies that you anticipate that could lead to optimism in the market as you anticipate.
Well, I think that the voters of the United States voted in an administration that they wanted to see less government and a more deregulation out there. So the importance of that means that we may be able to get forth something in the forms of energy independence or re-energy independence. We like the idea of having less regulation out there for more entrepreneurship. And then if you look down the road, the growth is the most important thing to keep the American engine going into 2025 and beyond.
What are your expectations, Tom, as you look out to earnings, economic growth as well, heading into the next 12 months?
Very positive, Kristen. Our analyst and my team, Joe Traba and Alex Hagstrom and I have been looking at that, and we're expecting over 10% growth year over year for earnings next year. So very, very positive.
So, of course, we are at the tail end of earnings season here. Tom, retailers continuing to report. Walmart was a big one, in fact, last week, showing that shoppers were interested outside of the grocery aisles as well. What's your focus in the retail space, and what do you think of Walmart in particular?
Well, we like Walmart. It's one of our top picks. Their earnings year over year was very positive. There's been a shift in Walmart in how they're approaching the consumer. So it used to be that you went into a Walmart and it was more of a lower income opportunity to find bargains, but they've been traditionally associated with that low income customer. But now they're kind of catering to those people who make more than $100,000 a year. It's a preferred place to go over Target in our eyes. And we focused on Walmart because of that, because we think the holiday season is going to be extremely positive for the company.
How are you finding, Tom, that consumers are holding up? Perhaps there are some retailers that are outperforming in this space, but by and large, does the consumer seem to be in a strong position to you as we await the end of the year?
I do think the consumer is still spending, and I do think that they're strong. That's why if we go into the holiday season with this type of momentum and kind of this new type of outlook, a refreshing outlook into the Christmas and the holiday season, we're going to be seeing very nice numbers coming out of the retail industry. And you can even carry that over into some of the other companies that we follow as well.
Now, I'm curious, in terms of a new administration, changes obviously happening in D.C., a red sweep that's going to start taking effect in January after the inauguration. What does that mean about technology, innovation, artificial intelligence, Tom? I mean, that buzzword alone, artificial intelligence, has been at the forefront of many investors' minds for at least the past 18 months.
Well, it's a a topic that worries a lot of people for artificial intelligence. However, it's an incredible partnership that we're in the very early stages of understanding and benefiting off of. So if you look at the what AI is doing across the board for some of the downstream companies, including not only the tech sector, but going all the way down even into the industrial sector, we really have incredible opportunities seeking in front of us for this. We can talk about Fortinet. We can talk about some of the other companies as well that on the cyber side, if you'd like.
Yeah, before we dive into some of those specific companies, Tom, I do just want to ask you, of course, about the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE for short, if you will, for those following the cryptocurrency market. And in terms of the policies that we are expecting this new administration to enact, is there a target in terms of how much you think can be cut, for instance, from government spending with Elon Musk now working for President Trump?
Well, I think it's a very ambitious target to cut 2 trillion of wasteful spending that's out there. But any cut is going to be beneficial down the road. And you keep in mind that the deficit right now is so large that even if you shaved off 1 or 2%, it's going to be material all across the board.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of the cyberspace, of course, that does sort of go hand in hand with technology, AI, as we were talking about earlier. When it comes to cyber, Tom, what do you think needs attention?
Well, the continuation of being a leader in this area, for one, that's the most important thing. In the United States, and our cyber companies are continuing to, lead out there. But cybersecurity is very important. Artificial intelligence has positive impacts in the area, and if you take a look at what the damage that can happen, and you look at the potential threat that's there. We're going to be pumping a lot of money into the cybersecurity space, and that's why we like Fortinet, which is ticker symbol FTNT, for our top pick in that cyber area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to hear more about the fundamentals in place there, Tom, that do make that stock attractive to you.
Well, one, there are many companies in the area. The reason why we like Fortinet over somebody like Palo Alto Networks is we know that they're a global leader in cybersecurity. We know that AI has impacted their balance sheet. They continue to develop the network security that is so important in the area. And if you look at the fundamentals of the company, the management is fantastic, and their numbers are hitting in all strides.
Mm-hmm. Tom, I am curious to get your take on cryptocurrency because alongside the equity market, we have seen Bitcoin absolutely skyrocket. How does your asset management company view crypto?
Well, we don't hold any crypto in our portfolio, but we understand that it's going to be important to be able to manage the expectation of the client and also the global expectation for what's happening in the crypto area. So I think that what we're focusing on as we look into the future is how are we going to manage it, and is it going to be managed in an orbital wallet? Is it going to be made possible with just your iPhone that you see here? I think that the ability to break down cryptocurrency and convert it into something of like a fiat maybe something that's ambitious, but it's taking shape. And the Trump administration is really signaling that crypto has become more relevant than the previous administration. We're focusing a little bit on it, but we don't hold any crypto.
Tom Hulick, CEO of Strategy Asset Managers. Tom, great to have you on the show this morning. Thank you so much.